Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Money Hungry Mama podcast. Today I have Mary with me. Mary, take it away.
Hi, Brittany. Thanks so much for having me on your show. I really love it. And I just love hearing everybody's stories about making their way out in the world and juggling families and making it happen. So I'm very honored to be on your show. So thank you for
You are so welcome. We are so excited to have you.
Great. So I am the owner of Willow and Oak Custom Planters. And what I do is I do custom on-site planting for homes and businesses for all four seasons.
Okay.
So if you have planters or you're building a home, and you'd like to add planters or your business and you want to add some curb appeal, I will come on site and do an on-site consultation, take a look at your space and create a plan for the planters and source all of the material and build beautiful head turning arrangements with loads of in bloom flowers and sometimes trees, whatever the customer's vision is to add beauty and curb appeal.
My gosh.
Yeah. I love
Okay.
it. It's a dream job, a dream job.
Literally a dream job. It doesn't exist. So I think this is so
And
cool. Oh my God. I need to hear, how did this begin? How did we start?
so I started later in life, and I just have to say that a lot of, I hear your guests have younger kids, and my kids are a little bit older, but so when I listen, I totally relate to like some of the struggles, but I just have to say that they don't go away. They just get different. So you still juggle a lot, even when they're, 15 and 18 and so on. You're still mom, especially because I am a single mom. I've been a single mom for most of their lives. So being a business owner on top of it's a lot of fun. A lot of
My
fun. But how did it start? So I had been in corporate sales my whole life. I
Okay.
graduated from college, got a job out of college for Xerox Corporation. And I said, "Oh, I'll stay 6 months and, go find what I really love." And at the time, it was amazing. Like, it just was so great. It was the season. It was, at the time of my life, it was a great company. I got a lot of training, tremendous experience handling major corporate and public entities and sales. But, as a lot of industries do, it changed. And it got harder and harder and harder. And, Xerox used to be like the king, and then all these competitors started coming in, and it turned into what used to be a really hands-on, like customer-centric solving a problem became just like a commodity sale, like, "How low can you go?" And it really, at the end, like the last 8, 9 years of it, it was so hard, Brittany. It was so to like get up and go to work, and
Wow.
I was burnt out. I was
Yeah.
really, really burnt out, but as a single mom providing, I never once thought, "Let me go and explore a passion," or, "Let me
Mhm.
go find something else." I thought about other jobs, but I had that, guess, stability and full feeling of knowing what I was doing, even though I didn't like it any longer.
Yeah.
Um, so then COVID happened, and, as happened with a lot of people, we all kind of took stock. I took stock of my life and I said, this is not where I want to be. I don't even physically, I wasn't in the town where I wanted to be. My children were in private schools and I was running, 10 miles in one direction, 15 miles in another direction, and 25 miles up to an office. Like it just wasn't sustainable with the lifestyle that I was living as a single mom. So I did a lot of soul searching. And after like the art lessons and the French lessons, and we knew we were going to be indoors for a while, I said,
I
"Really,
love it.
Mary, you better figure out your life." And I did. I said, "You know what? I'm going to move to a smaller town where the girls can go to school, public school, and I know that they're all going to be, on a bus or they're going to be close, and then, I can get to them quickly." So in the middle of the pandemic, not only did I change careers, but I moved my family from central New Jersey down to the shore to Point Pleasant,
Oh,
which
cool.
we amazing move. And then after I moved down here, COVID, kind of was not over, but we all kind of went back to work. And I said, this really isn't for me. So my friends always told me you should you should make containers of plants for people. You're amazing at this." And I would
Wow.
laugh, say, "Who's gonna pay me to do this? Like, I'm just,
Yeah.
it's silly. It's a silly thing." And they were like, "No, we want you to come to our house and do it. Like, you know what goes together, you know plants." I just always loved gardening and loved making containers, the art of it, and knowing what goes well with everything. So I said, "You know what? I'm in a new place and I'm kind of one foot in the door back to work. Let me make a few containers for people." And they put them on Facebook. And as they say, the rest is history. My phone started ringing. "We need her number. She has to come to our house. We don't know how to do this. We need her." And that was in 20, that was like in the fall of 2021. And
Wow.
I was still working 2 jobs. I was working that as a side hustle, like,
Uh-huh.
kind of feeling sea legs and feeling it out, and but it just was amazing because every season, more and more people were calling me, and I'm like, "I think I have a business here." So, at the end of tw yeah, it was at the end of 2022, I said, "I am gonna quit my job, and I'm gonna go 100% into this." And it was the funny part is it was January, right? So I'm gardener, right? And I decided to quit my job January to pursue this full time. And I came home, I told my girls, I said, "Guys, guess what?" I said, "I quit the other job and I'm going full time. Willow and Oak is going to be, I'm a business owner." And they looked at me like I had three heads. They were like,
Oh my
"Mom, it's
god.
January." Like, how are you going to pay the mortgage? How are you going to do this? And I was like, "Oh my gosh." And I was started like panicking, totally, completely panicking because the reality of it set in.
Yeah.
But I'm a real big believer in signs and like there's something out there bigger than us.
Uh-huh.
And I was like in my room because I couldn't be emotional in front of the girls. And I was kind of getting emotional. Like, did I do something rash? Am I being stupid? Like doubting myself.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm not lying, my phone, like, dinged, like, I got a text message in that moment, and it was my local chamber of commerce saying, "Congratulations, you won best new business of the year. We'd like to honor you at President's Dinner, a gala, and name a day after you." And I looked up to at the sky to my angels up there, and I said, "Thank you." So it was, like, crazy, the sign that I needed, I got right at that moment. So
Isn't
I
that
always share
crazy how
that
that works?
story.
I
It's crazy.
love that. Oh my gosh. I have chills. I have chills because I feel like raise your hand if you're planning a family vacation. Sounds almost as exhausting as the vacation itself. Yeah, me too. That's why I want you to know about the summer sponsor, Wishes Family Travel with Sue. Sue is a Disney earmarked travel agent who plans stress free trips for real families. And she's especially wonderful with young kids and food allergies. So nothing slips through the cracks. Disney World, Disney Cruise Line, all inclusive resorts, even honeymoons. She handles every little detail so you actually get to relax because your time together is precious and it should feel magical, not overwhelming. Adventure is out there, and Sue can help you plan yours. Follow her on Instagram at Wishes Family Travel with Sue. And remember, she's free to use. I think I mentioned this once on the podcast before, but like if you're ever in a position where you're doubting yourself, when you're second guessing, when you're upset or whatever, just ask, like, am I doing the right thing? And I swear to goodness, you're going to get a
Absolutely.
sign.
Yes, you have to put it out there.
Hmm.
Everything I feel, whether it's you call it manifesting, some people call it
Yeah.
praying, I just put it out there. And oddly enough, or even like writing your vision down, like you're putting your intentions out there or your questions. And I feel like that somehow mysteriously makes things happen. I don't
Yeah.
know how else to explain it, but at that very moment when I was thinking, "I'm a terrible mother. I quit my job. I have no source of income now except for what I think I can do." Like the angels answered me. And I said, "I guess I'm okay at this and let's really do it for real." So,
Oh my gosh. So beautiful.
yeah.
That's so beautiful. Okay, so I have so many questions. Okay,
Okay.
because you said you're a four season, I don't even know what to call you. like gardener? Like, I don't even know. What do we call it?
Oh, it's so funny. I call myself a container designer, because
Okay.
it's gardener. It's a very niche kind of a
It's
thing because I'm
so
not a
niche. I
landscape.
love it.
I'm not a florist. I mean, I can throw together a bouquet, but if somebody says I need 50 table center pieces, I'm like, no, go to the girl down the street. That's not me. So I'm a container designer. So I will
Cute.
go every season and source, whatever is seasonal. So for example, we just left spring. We're moving into summer now, but I did all, spring bulbs, daffodils, tulips, euphorbia, pansies, and then I put pussy willow and fantail willow and, just all spring, bright, colorful elements. And then summer, of course, are your typical summer annuals like palm trees, begonias, and it depends on the client. It depends on their space. It depends on what they're looking for. For example, I had a restaurant that needed privacy because they were right on a corner. So they said, we want something pretty, but we really need privacy and like a sound barrier. So I was like, okay, we need to get tall, thin planters, source them, and, big trees that kind of block the
Mhm.
noise and block the view, and underplant them with something pretty for people to look at while they're sitting there. Everybody has a different vision or different
Yeah.
needs. Try to take what they have in their head and make a beautiful arrangement or container for them. So,
Mhm. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
fall is like, cabbages, pumpkins. I do the pumpkins on a porch and, corn stalks and all of that. And then winter comes and it's big, treetops and boughs and lights and birch poles. And I can do Christmas trees. I kind of like evolved into doing Christmas tree decor as well. So it's kind of changing and growing
I
as
love it.
businesses do. You evolve, you try different things and
Mhm.
see what works for you and get your name out there in the beginning. I did workshops in the beginning. I don't do them so much anymore. I do them every once in a while. But yeah, it's a little bit of everything, but it's all centered around arrangements, planting different seasonal arrangements.
Yeah, you're like a plant designer. Like, you're just, like, doing all these, like, really cool things. Okay, so I love the fact that guys, like, this is I love this conversation already because this is speaking a very specific niche and something that she just loved to do, and I love that it was her friends that were like, "You should do this, I'll pay you for it." Like, if somebody has said that to you, you have something, whether you think you do or not. If somebody's like, "I'll pay you to do this for me," you're doing something that's so uniquely different, and
Hmm.
I'm big on here. Obviously, we all want to make money online. We all want to do these things, but service-based businesses, I think there's always going to be a need for. And this is just really, really cool. Okay, so you have the different seasons. You're doing the different seasons. Now, in my mind, I'm trying to grasp how it works. So like let's just say I'm your client. Are you coming to my house every season and redoing the different things to match the season?
Absolutely. So not I have to say, not everybody is a four-season client, although that's my goal is to get everybody
Uh-huh.
to be four seasons. But being down the shore, some people just come to their summer home, and then close up, for winter. So I have summer is certainly my busiest time,
Yeah.
the most clients during summer. But a typical four-season client, like if you were my client, you would know, we'd be in correspondence and I would say, Brittany, I'm coming the week of March 15th, and we're gonna do the spring planters and, and I'll be there. And then I pull everything old out, I refresh the soil, I plant everything, clean up, take it away, take the garbage away. So it's a really hands-off experience for the client. They just enjoy the plants. That's it. And
Mhm.
then again, like when summer comes, I let you know, "Hey, it's gonna be summer, any changes? Do you have any events coming up that I should know of?" And this is a time of year where people have graduations or
Yeah.
problems, and so, yeah, I'm busy now because 'cause they're like, "We really need it by this week,
Mhm.
because we want our backyard looks beautiful, the pool's gonna be opened up, we're gonna have guests, parties." So, yeah, I try to work around people's, schedules,
Love it.
but yeah, so you'll know when I'm coming, and then you just come home to these beautiful, refreshed, new seasonal planters, and it's so exciting whenever I come out or a client comes out and I'm there still. to see their face, it's like, my gosh, it's beautiful. Like they get so excited and
Love
to
that.
that feeling, it's amazing. I've never had anybody say, "Oh, this stinks." Like in the old when selling Xerox, it was always like, "Oh no," I was afraid to pick up the phone, like the machine's broken, I gotta get a technician there, or the
Yeah,
bill's wrong, whatever was the problem. I was more of like a problem solver for customers. That's a big part of sales, but for this, it's such a joy. It's such a
I
joy
love
to
that.
bring this beautiful, um, arrangement that lasts. It's not like flowers, throw them out after 4 or 5 days. It's gonna last your whole season.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah.
I do not have a green thumb to save my life. Like my future sister-in-law, she got me. So I have a lot of like fake plants going on. Like I even have like a little fake plant like right here. Because
Okay.
the green thumb just isn't in my genes. But my sister-in-law got me my first ever money tree. Have you heard of the money? You probably have.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
And I'm like, "This thing is perfect for me." I remember to feed it, like, once a month, we're doing great, it's still thriving, and I'm like, "This is great for me," because
Yes,
it's like a once a month thing, and I'll look up and be like, "Oh, you need water," and I, like, run over and I, like, give it water, and it's making me feel really good about this,
awesome.
but
It feels good. It's like something living. It's like you're keeping alive, and we'll make a green thumb out of you. We will.
I really do wanna learn, like, how to do plants, like, now that I've been keeping this one alive, I'm like, "Wow, this is, like, kind of fun," but, like, they can't die easy, like, they have
Yeah.
to be willing to stay alive through some droughts there, but I think in general.
That's kind of the cool thing about the container gardening too, is that it is seasonal, so
Yeah.
you can change you're gonna change it, right? Because, listen, plants don't last forever, especially outdoor ones, and it's kind of exciting to get that change. You're like, "Oh, these are looking a little,"
Yeah.
or, "It's time to go," and I'm ready to put my sweater on, I'm ready for that fall look or whatever, I wanna come home to pumpkins instead of the pink and purple.
I
I
love
want
it.
colors so you don't have to worry so much about. I mean, yeah, yes, we do have to keep them alive, and I have a maintenance program that helps with that for
Oh, that's
clients.
awesome.
But yeah, and it's something that you can, like, when I would do the classes, I would teach people how to do it, and, there's a lot of kids who, I taught some classes at school, or I taught at, um like a senior center, and it's just something that's accessible. It's not
Mhm.
like you have to on your hands and knees and get, or even people who love to garden, they can't make me necessarily get down
Yeah.
and garden any longer. So having it in a container that's at your, waist level, it's fun and it's easier to do.
Yeah. I know you're just getting my wheels turning about plants outside my house now. I love this so much. So, I love to shift a little bit to the actual business aspect, right? So, we know
Okay.
your business, it's beautiful, it's wonderful. Now, I wanna talk a little bit about what everybody hates to talk about, marketing. So, tell us, out of all of the different ways to market, what has been the most beneficial for your business?
Not to sound punny, but it really was organic growth. Like it was word of mouth. I've tried to do advertising, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, certainly, yes, social media is a big part of it. It
Mhm.
really is, especially with not the number of followers, but local followers. You want to get
Mm.
people, who I can actually are in my service area to see my
Yeah.
work. But I would say, um, yeah, just people driving by and seeing something, or, a client having guests over and them saying, "Wow, this looks great. Who did it?" And then get a reference, or so referrals was really a huge part.
Yeah.
A very, very important part, I would think, for any business, and I would love to talk about, like, community, because,
Yeah.
uh being a business owner is can be very lonely as opposed to working, in a sales team, or any kind of, office
100%.
environment with people. So I definitely say that's so important to find community. But um did join my local chamber of commerce, and that was important in the beginning to become a known entity in town and network through these different events. As much as maybe people don't like to network, some people hate them, some people love
Yeah.
to network. But it is very important when you're first starting out to do that kind of business, like kind of networking through a chamber of commerce. So I did get some businesses, but it was more like, oh, oh, you're doing this. I know somebody, maybe say like a
Yeah.
builder who was building a house and he was putting up window boxes. He could refer me to the client. So that was a very good move, I think, on my part in the beginning.
100%.
Still really involved, heavily involved with my local chamber. So networking, yeah, I just think word of mouth and networking. I'm old school sales, so I come from a world of like knocking on doors, literally,
Yes.
where there were cameras that kept you out of buildings. So I make like little postcards and if I'm doing a house, I'll drop off a postcard at the next 5 houses and say, I just did so and so's house this at this address. I'd love to do your pots or your front porch. And we've gotten a lot of callbacks that way. So
That's
good old
awesome.
knocking on doors
Yep.
for me because it is so service based and local.
For sure, for sure. I think, we talk about networking on here, and I think everybody gets like a little bit nervous. And I try to calm you guys down as you're listening, right? You have to go to networking events. And I always challenge you to go by yourself. So you're not sitting there and talking to your best friend the whole entire night. It needs to be an experience where you're put in an awkward situation, especially when you're running a business. It gets you to practice your pitch, it gets you to practice all of those different things, right? But also remember, like, we do have the free Money Hungry Mama community to anybody that's just like looking to network. It's available on Facebook too. So the free Money Hungry Mama community, you guys can join at any point. But as far as like marketing, I think when it comes to, it's so funny, like the episode I recorded literally right before this one, we brought this up too. When it comes to marketing, there's something about the legwork that just works better than any other avenue. And I think it's because nobody's really doing it anymore. So that
Yeah.
legwork just is an open door for you guys.
It's
So
so
I think
true.
that's what it
That,
is.
like handshaking and being in front of somebody or knocking on doors, literally,
Yeah.
I learned that you cannot put them in somebody's mailbox because that's a
Yeah.
federal offense. So I made door hangers the next time.
I love it.
I don't want to go to jail. But no, it's something about yeah, well, you're right. We live in a digital worlds, right? So just that face to face, which can be really uncomfortable for some people. But I always say, Brittany, I always feel like anything hard you grow from, right?
Mhm.
And I tell my girls that all the time. I'm like, you can do hard things like, I think that's a book or a podcast, but everything that is difficult, it challenges you and you grow. You go to you're gonna get to the other side of it.
Yep.
And you might not feel good going through it, but you're going to learn something. And the more
100%.
you practice and the more you do everything in life, it's the old practice makes perfect thing. I don't know if we'll ever reach perfection, but it certainly helps. The more you do this, the more you do
Yeah.
networking, whatever it
A
is that
hu
is uncomfortable.
Oh, 100%. And it's honestly, like you said, like, it's doing the hard things. We grow from it, we learn from it, we change from it. I mean, how your kids have 47 new outfits for summer and you're still rocking the same black tank top from 2019? Yeah, same. That's why I love this summer sponsor. Mauve Shop Boutique, a mom-owned shop built by a mama who actually gets it. Trendy, wearable pieces that make you feel like yourself again. And here's the best part. They ship anywhere in the country, so you can fill your cart from the couch after bedtime. Free shipping on orders over $75. And use my code MHM10 because trust me, it feels fast. Mauve Shop Boutique, where you come to feel like you, and as they say, see you in the fitting room. I say this all the time, but I am not the same person I was before being a mom, right? Like, I just think you grow in such a way that you didn't even know you could. And I think it's the same thing with owning a business, right? Like, you learn things and you have to realize how to be human at the end of the day, right? Like, you can't, even if it's just like a small business and you're just starting out, you can't project everything out into the universe. Like, you have to learn how to be a public face of your business and talking to people the right way and selling your products the right way and getting trust the right way. And I think It's just a really cool experience for anybody who's ever even thought about starting a business. It's like, just try it. Just do it because it's going to change you in the best way possible, just like being a mom did.
Absolutely. That's such a good analogy because you really don't know what you don't know until you know it,
Mhm.
right? Like just like being a mom, like you could read every book in the world. Nothing prepares us for nothing. Like I said in the beginning of our conversation, my girls are older and nothing could prepare me for like the things that they're going through now as young women or
Yeah.
teenagers. I miss those days where I knew how to fix, it was exhausting physically, like to be there when they were young and toddlers and
Yeah.
working, but it's emotionally demanding. Fix their or help them. I'm not fixing their problems, but help them navigate their
Yeah. Oh, it's
youth.
tough out there.
It's really hard, and they have different things, challenges that I didn't have, with social media and things like that. So I give them so much credit just being able to even talk to people, like, you know, face to face because there's so many kids that don't, they're so in the phone all the time.
Yeah.
So, but I think that anybody who has even the tiniest thought that I would like to try this, do it, go
Mm,
for it. Like, have to be fearless in a way, like,
mhm.
just go off and do it. Maybe dip your toes in the water first before, like, unlike me, who literally jumped into the deep end of the pool and quit her job. But, I had been doing it for a little while, so I knew I was onto something. But like
Yeah.
running a business, I had no idea how hard it was going to be. No,
Yeah.
even with my background in sales, and I thought, "Oh, how hard can it be?" My gosh, it's night
It's
and day.
hard.
It's really you're wearing every single hat, you know?
100%.
You're, sourcing, distribution, marketing, financials, you're the CFO, the CMO, you're everything, and
Mhm.
you're the laborer as well in the beginning. The idea is to hopefully one day kind of move away from some of that hands-on and
Yeah.
pass it on to teams so that you can, grow. I think that's
Mhm.
important for growth. But yes, you have to go for it. Life's too short
100%.
not to.
It's too
It's too
short at least not
short.
to try.
And
Too
you
short at
can
least not to
pivot,
try.
right? You can always change course.
Mhm. 100%. So I do wanna ask you
Well,
this question. Many moms think that they need an online business. I touched on this a little bit. What would you say to someone about starting something local like what you're doing?
that's a good question because a a lot of people have tried to tell me, other entrepreneurs or people who, want to see me grow. They said, you should do more online, like pre-make things and sell them online. You're going to have more economies of scale and you're going to be able to, to reach lower price points and make more. So for a while I thought about it, like going online, but long as I ended up deciding that that wasn't really the direction I wanted to go in because I love the the unique creative process for each different and it is very unique. It's not that no two arrangements look the same because,
Yeah,
people don't have the same taste, they don't have the same
for
pots, they
sure.
don't have house, and I really enjoy that again, that unique customer experience. So, advice for like a service-based business, I guess, again, I go back to community. You have to really know who your target market is going to be, right?
Mhm.
Who's going to pay for this service? Who will find value in what I have to offer? And kind of narrow that down demographically and then, figure out a way to get in front of them as
Yeah,
opposed to being online, selling a product online, because then the whole world can buy it, right?
for
Or a
sure.
service, the world can do it. So I'm sure there's definitely perks to that as well. It's probably a little bit harder to be a local service-based business in a way, but there's challenges to everything.
I feel like there's challenges to everything. I'm not like, I said earlier, I think that there will always be a need for service based business. And as you were talking about how people told you to go online, I can't imagine sitting on all that product if it wasn't going to move or like shipping live plants in hopes that like you would probably have
Yeah,
to pay so much for proper containers to not die through transit. And I just think you
ex
made a really smart move to not do it online like that because you would just be behind on all this product that you're not even sure what's gonna happen, right? Like, that's just,
yeah,
like, something that hit me right away.
well, it's funny you say that because even 4 years into the business and having a set list of clients, I
Mhm.
still with waste, because I order wholesale as much as I can. And, you try to figure it out on paper, what you're going to need and how much you're
Mhm.
going to. It's never an exact science.
No, for
So,
sure.
like the food business, how much waste. I always think that I'm like, I wonder how they get that system down of exactly how much they need to order because
Yeah.
it's there's tonight I actually put out at the end of every season, I put out what I'm not gonna use and what's kind of not looking great or what I can't put in a client's container, and I put it out for free for people, and they come like crazy. They come and they take it and put it in their own gardens, and it makes me feel like, "Okay, I'm not really wasting it." It's like people are getting
Yeah,
something out of it, um,
for sure.
but yeah,
What
but
I
there's a lot of, like that's just one little part of the business is, like, ordering and
product.
inventory and where do I keep it and how do I store it and how do I not let it go bad? How do I find the time to tend to it? So there's so many moving pieces to
100%. And what I think I would do too if I were you, if like let's just say you could figure out a way to make a smaller one and put it on your social media for local pickup. Right? Like whatever product you have left, like you could do like a smaller one and say, I have this one at this cost. It's local pickup, first come, first serve. Like let me know who's gonna get it. And then you can even put it in your Facebook groups too of like at least some products that are still really great that you couldn't possibly make money. Try it. And if
Yeah.
it doesn't work, then you put it out for free.
That's such a good idea, and I think I did that once, and it really worked out well, and I was right around Mother's Day, so it was perfect timing, and I, like, had,
Mhm.
like, kids were out, like, with lemonade stand, they sat out, and they were tiny little, like, rain buckets or something, and I did
Cute.
do that. And, like, so I love to give back, and I'm not like a big corporate thing where I can, like, say, "Oh, I'm gonna donate
Yeah,
$10,000 cause." What I like to do is try to when I have some stuff that I know I'm not gonna use,
I love it.
I'll find a way to donate it to, again, like a senior center, or I have a friend who does the fulfill, for the food in Monmouth County. So I'll make little arrangements up for her, and I'll give
I
them
love
her
it.
to the people. I said to her, I said, "Jeanette, do you think that they would even want this?" She said, "Are you kidding? They're coming to get food. They don't have money to buy flowers. This will make their whole day." So
I
it's my
love
little way of giving back to
Oh my
community
gosh.
that's
That's beautiful. I love that so much.
Mhm.
Oh man.
It's nice.
That's very kind of you. It's very kind. All right, Mary, my favorite question. What does being a money hungry mama mean to you?
Oh my goodness. Well, I thought about this one a lot and I said, it's a no-brainer for me because being a single mom all this time, it's like not an option, right? To be money hungry.
Yeah.
It's not greedy. It's like keeping the food on the table and the lights on and you have to provide for your family. So it's like you can't play small, right?
Yeah.
You gotta go into this and You know, uh, uh, it's also a sense of pride. I love what I
Yeah.
do. I have a sense of pride, so I want to do a great job. And the fact that I've grown this business to a point where it was just a little tiny
Yeah.
baby of an idea to something that is paying my mortgage and, paying for school for the girls. And I just I can't even believe 4 years later, I'm sitting here talking to you, right? I'm
I
so
love it.
proud fact. But think as moms, we think about our children first. So for me, this question really resonated with my girls and what I'm teaching them. I think being a money hungry mama to me is showing up, showing my girls that they can go after whatever they want, truly. And they will probably fall. They will probably, you know, trials and tribulations, but they always can get up and they can always pivot. They can always change course and things will work out if you work really hard.
100%.
Just put your, nose to the grindstone and have a passion. That's another thing. Like, just sometimes you have to do what you don't want to do at first until you can do something. But in this amazing world that we live in, there's so many opportunities to
For
really,
sure.
even if it's a side thing at first, you can really go after what you love and try it. Just try it and be fearless. So I think it's about being courageous and yeah, just going after the dream and living it and trying to be a good example for my three girls. So that's what it is.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And Mary, where can our listeners
Where can they find me? Okay, so my Instagram is Willow and Oak Custom Planters, same on Facebook, and my website is www.willowandOakCustomPlanters.com. I'm in Point Pleasant and I service Monmouth, Ocean, Central Jersey for now. But if you're the right client, I will travel. Yeah, so that's where you can find me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. It was a joy talking to you. I absolutely loved this conversation. I love your show, and
Thank
I
you.
can't wait to get your book. Very excited. Very excited. And I just really quickly, like back to the community thing that you said, there's so many women that I've listened to where I've like jotted down their business and followed them. And one of them, very recently, I'm like, oh, I'm going to reach out to her. I think she could help me with my branding and my SEO. Like, so it's a
I love
fabulous
it.
thing that you're it really is. So keep on doing what you're doing and shining a light for other moms out there, and we can do it.
Now I'm crying. Thank you so much, Mary. You are just a ray of sunshine.
Aw.